Hello everyone, my name is Korin Sutton, pro vegan bodybuilder, health coach, master fitness trainer, and also clean machine athlete. So today's workout is going to be legs. Before we go into legs, I just want to talk about a few things. One thing, when we're doing legs, legs is very important. You never want to skip legs just because, first of all, our legs is the largest muscles in the whole entire body. So when it comes to gaining more muscle, legs is very important. It's just truly important. Another thing is that I always say, you don't want to skip legs and you don't want to work on legs very lightly. This is because the legs is our foundation, So for example, a tree. We don't work just when a tree grows, it doesn't grow from the top to the bottom. No, it works from the ground up. For a tree to stand strong, it has a strong foundation. It has its roots, strong roots. So the tree has to grow, mature, get very big and strong roots to implant into that ground so the tree can grow up and be very huge and strong, right? So the same thing applies to us, We want to work on our legs very hard, very long, very strong, so our legs can grow, so we have a strong foundation, because our legs is our foundation, so then everything else can be strong too. If you don't have a strong foundation, everything is going to be weak. So if you're an individual that doesn't do legs, it's something that you want to think about. Doing legs is very important. It's there's so many benefits of doing legs. Another thing about doing legs is too, not just burning muscle, but you also burn a lot of calories at the same time, because they're such a huge muscle group, a large muscle group, that they require X amount of calories just for it to perform whatever activity that you're doing. So the bigger the muscle, the more calories it actually needs for that muscle to work. So that's a few things about legs. Another thing that I want to harp on before we go on to legs is wraps. I see as a trainer that a lot of people use wraps for no particular reason. Some people use wraps because they have lower back pains. Some people use wraps so they can push up more weight. Here's the thing about wraps, especially like back supporters, hand wraps, stuff like that. I always say that when we use wraps, we're skipping steps to allow us to do something that our body wasn't even meant to do yet. So for example, when we use a back supporter and we're doing squats, what do I usually see? I usually see people wearing back supporters. They go on a squat rack, put on like 2 plates or 3 plates on each side, and then try to rep out somewhere between 6 to 8 reps, right? Is this beneficial? That's the question. The question is that exercise beneficial? Are you going to grow? Is your leg going to grow to bigger because you're using a wrap and lifting so much weight? No. Here's the thing. When we use back straps and stuff like that, we're actually it's a bandage, and so we're actually not letting the core to engage. So we're having this wrap that's holding on, suppressing to our back and our core, so we don't have to worry about core or lower back engagement of the muscles. And then we're throwing up a bunch of weight, and 9 out of 10, that person, when they're doing that squat, they're going down like that, and they're going on their toes. We're not toe dominant people, number one. Number two, by using that wrap, you're not letting your core do the work. You're letting that back strap do all the work. Number three, you're putting a lot of pressure on your knees, so you're actually deteriorating the joint. And number four, you're not even strengthening the lower back. So when people throw up a lot of this weight and using the back strap, in mind, you think that you're protecting your back and it's safe because you're lifting weight that's 10 times heavier than you. But in general, what we're actually doing is you're contributing to injury. You're contributing to injury. improper form, lifting way too much weight to actually deteriorate the joints, and you're not even strengthening up your core, which the core is such an important thing to have to be strengthened, so you can lift things normally and properly the right way. So get rid of the back straps. If you can't lift the 345s on each side without the wraps, then don't use the wraps. I always say that. You know, if you have to wrap it, then don't lift it. You know, our body's not meant to lift it. You know, and the reason I say this, because I know maybe some, you know, power lifters, they use wraps, you know, they use back wraps. But if you see the amount of weight that they're using, it's extremely heavy. You know, not no 3 plates on each side. They're doing like 5, 10 plates. I mean, these guys are doing crazy amount of weights, you know, lifting like 750 pounds and stuff like that. So, I mean, something like that, yeah, you know, I would definitely put a wrap on. But like, if you're just doing like 3 plates on each side or 2 plates on each side, I wouldn't use it. Maybe you should regress the exercise, work on your form, strengthen up your core, and be able to lift it properly. Because truthfully, with me, I don't lift heavy. I really don't lift heavy. I got away from that type of training style a long time ago. The thing is, it's all about time under tension, putting that muscle underneath time under tension. So if you're using light weights, light medium weights, don't worry about the next guy next to you or what you see on Instagram or YouTube, all these glorified lifting. You don't have to worry about that. Worry about what you can do. You know, don't try to be this Joe Schmo to lift crazy amount of weight and think that you're going to get legs like him because you're lifting heavy as him. No, worry about yourself. Worry about what you can lift and do it properly, because at the end of the day, it's your life, it's your health, and it's your body. You're the one that has to live with it. You know, so if you injure yourself, you know, seriously injure yourself by lifting some weight in a gym, you know, you have to live with those consequences for the rest of your life, you know. And this is why you see people blow out their ACLs working out in the gym. You see people get lower back issues and destroy their lumbar from what? Working out in the gym. I mean, this is crazy. Like, why are people getting injured in a facility where you're supposed to be actually getting healthier and feeling better? You know, that's the question. So get the ego lifting out of your mind and then learn how to do it properly. And this is why I'm doing this video, because I see this all the time, and I just want to show people first in this specific leg video. I want to show people how to lift properly, and if you have lower back issues or knee pains and stuff like that, I want to also include certain devices that you can use that can help with your hip flexor mobility, because that's most of the time a lot of these injuries occur is because improper form, and maybe the posterior chain is extremely tight. So we're going to go ahead and start. You know, we're going to warm up first, and what I usually do for a warm up is just, you know, self squats, some lunges. I use a foam roller, roll out my body and stuff like that, and then we're going to go right into it. I usually don't do cardio for leg days, just because I want to save all the energy for lifting for my legs, and I don't want to contribute or use all my energy just doing cardio. If I do cardio, I use it as a warm-up, and it's only 5 minutes. So we're going to go right into it, right into the leg workout, and I want to just show everyone a couple exercises that I usually do for my leg routine, and that's it. All right. So the first exercise we're going to do is the leg press machine. All right. So when we do this exercise, this is a particular exercise that I usually do at the beginning of my exercise programs. But here's the thing, with this particular exercise, I don't do it all the time. This is called a 3 variation leg press. So when doing this exercise, I'll come down, I'm going to put my feet up, have it about hip distance apart. Now I'm going to do this 30 times. So when I come down, I won't go all the way down. I only lower enough until I get a 90-degree angle, with my legs. And then right back up. All right? I'm going to do that 30 times, 30 reps. Then right after that, I'm going to put my feet out about shoulder distance apart and externally rotate my foot 45-degree angle. So just like this. Now, the reason I do this, you can now, I'm shooting all the way to my VMO, that teardrop in the legs, right? So I'm going to do that 30 times. And then right after that, internally rotate my legs, shoulder distance apart. And now I'm going to hit the outside part of my legs. Do that 30 times. So I'm targeting each part of my quads specifically. Now, the reason I don't do this exercise a lot, because truthfully, there's certain exercises that when we do them, you know, we'll get a lot of great benefits out of it, you know. I mean, this exercise itself is 90 repetitions, you know, but we're targeting each muscle group specifically into the leg, which is really great because, like I said, time under tension, that's what's going to make that muscle grow. The bad thing is that because everyone has different type of hip flexors, you know, and certain people have, everyone's built differently, you know, it can cause pain and stuff to the knee. So for me, for example, I tore my left Achilles tendon last year in January. So my hips are a little off and my right leg now is my dominant leg. When I do this exercise, it does overact. I do get a small amount of knee pain in my right knee, but it's not because of joint issue. It's because when I do that external rotation, I overact the VMO in my leg. This particular muscle gets overactive. So it pulls on the tendon in the knee. So this is what I do to regress that pain and regress the overactive activity. So during my break, I use this. This is a foam roller. This is a more high-tech foam rollers. I mean, there's different types out there. The one I use is called Hyper Ice. So with this one actually vibrates. Now the vibration helps with involuntarily muscle control, and it also helps pushing more blood into the muscle. But then it also helps break down, because of that vibration, it helps break down any type of adhesions or knots that's within that tissue. And then the actual foam roller itself helps smooth out the fascia. So this actually pretty much, make it short, it pretty much just massages the muscle, so it relieves all the tension out of the muscle to make it short. But that's what I do on my breaks. So on my breaks, I always do a foam roller. Within a minute to a minute and a half, I use a foam roller. And nothing's wrong doing an active rest within your breaks. Doing active rest is actually a lot better, because when you do an active rest, you're actually, it's a stretch or like I said, or a foam roller technique to help you perform better into the next set. So nothing's wrong doing active rest. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. Go right into it. And like I said, I don't do this all the time. This is a particular exercise I don't do all the time because it can cause knee issues. So just be very careful at home if you're doing this. If you feel any pain, stop immediately and either hit the foam roller, see what you can do again, or see if you can do it again after the foam roller, which I'll show you while I go on my active rest. If not, if the pain still continues, just stop. Especially if it's sharp pain, just stop the exercise altogether and just do something else, okay? Or you can regress it just into the regular, straight foot leg press, and don't do the external and internal. All right? Now into my active rest. So this is what I do during my break. And when you're doing this foam rolling, if you feel like something that hurts really bad, like let's say I felt like I went here and it hurt, then I want to sit there, put the pressure on that spot, then do a small shimmy, and then start rolling. Alright, and you don't want to go really fast. Also, what you can do is also flex the leg in that spot where it hurts, shimmy it, and then fully roll again. Then once the minute's done, then go ahead and do it again.